poem, one today. It says, and always one moon like a silent drum tapping at every rooftop and every window on of every country. Let me start this over again. I'm getting so intimidated by being here. And always one moon like a silent drum tapping on every rooftop and every window of one county.
Joining me now, Brigadier General Anthony J. Tata, author of the book Total Empire. General, honestly, we play these clips a lot, and everyone gets a good laugh out of them. We do too. But the truth is, these things matter because Xi Jinping watches when the president speaks, and Vladimir Putin watches, and the Ayatollah watches. And now we have these countries coming together, and we just look weak and inept and dumb, and it does matter.
Yeah, it absolutely matters, Jesse. Great to be with you. Thanks for having me on. The Kim Jong-un watches too, and what you've got is Russia, China, Iran, North Korea all coalescing together, and which I reference actually in Total Empire. It's all about China's drive to hegemony, and when you think about what Xi is doing here, talking to Russia, he's 100% messaging that he's the 800-pound gorilla in the world now, not the United States. He's got the fastest growing economy in the world now, not the United States. He's the one who is building an alliance that is a formidable alliance that will, whose intent is to counter U.S. presence and operations around the world and to begin to shape economic outcomes in China's favor, not in the United States' favor. And so weak economy under this administration, weakening military, we can't even meet our recruitment goals. And now what we see is a coalition forming that is sole purpose is to counter U.S. interests around the globe.
Yeah, to say nothing of the fact the U.S. Navy's rusting out from underneath us. General, can you help us understand, because we don't know what you know, help us understand how formidable that alliance is. We don't understand the military capabilities of China or China and Russia or China and Russia and Iran. Half the people in this country think Iran's still living in mud huts. Like, we don't understand what this alliance means. Can they challenge us? What does it mean? What are they?
They absolutely can challenge us. And so just think of it in terms of, I think most of us remember the Reagan years, the Soviet Union, and the Reagan strategy to defeat communism, which was important for our vital interests around the world, was to use the bank, the good economy that he developed, to create a 500-ship Navy, to create a 500,000 person army, increase the size of the Marine Corps. I know what you served in, and the Air Force. And so we bankrupted the Soviet Union to the point that they broke, and the Iron Wall came down, the Iron Curtain came down, and those countries went ahead and seceded essentially from the Soviet Union, and freedom broke out everywhere. Now you think about our economy stumbling a little bit, and Russia bogged down in Ukraine, running out of people, running out of equipment, and then China with their rapidly growing economy coming in to backstop them. That's a never-ending flow of money and arms and supplies, and it's almost like a reverse Cold War strategy where China and Russia are going to try to do to us what we did to the Soviet Union. That's how scary this is, quite frankly.
Can you help me understand, what does China gain? I understand what Russia gains, but as you mentioned, man, they're taking it on the chin right now. Even if they're winning, they're losing a lot of men, a lot of manpower. This has got to be costing them a fortune. What I don't quite see is, what does China gain from saddling up with Russia right now?
Yeah, so we list China as the number one adversary in our national defense strategy, which I managed when I was performing the duties of the Undersecretary of Defense. And so China, and it could, Jesse, just be all a information campaign, right? You know, that conversation that Putin and Xi had on the way out, You're my best friend. We're doing something that's never been done before in the last 100 years. All of that, they knew the cameras were there, the microphones were there. It could just be messaging, and information warfare is a part of warfare. But let's assume, and you always have to worst case your enemy. Let's just assume that it's real. They're going to provide economic support. They're going to provide arms and ammunition. They get to begin to deplete us in this reverse Cold War strategy where we pour more arms, more ammunition, more treasure, hopefully not blood and treasure, but more of everything into Ukraine. We become myopically focused on Ukraine. Meanwhile, that's beginning this death by 1,000 cuts strategy that China supporting Russia gets us sucked into all of that. And then they walk over and they go take Taiwan in a very soft manner like they did Hong Kong. That's a very plausible strategic chess move here. And it's worth it to them to give some arms and ammunition and money to Russia to soften up our focus on Taiwan.